Picture this: Felix Dennis, young and broke, stands outside a dusty office in London, clutching a stack of unsold magazines. There's no fancy degree, no safety net, just a wild idea and a stubborn refusal to quit. What if I told you that moment sparked the journey to one of the UK's richest self-made millionaires? But here's the kicker: Felix didn't just get rich by luck or genius. He cracked the code that most stumble over, and it starts with owning your path. You think a regular paycheck is security. Felix says it's a trap, a drug that chains you to mediocrity. Here's the brutal truth about trading time for money. Felix recalls his first job fresh out of school, behind a drab desk in London, earning just enough to survive but never thrive. Each weekly paycheck felt like a victory in a chain. He soon realized the steady drip was a leash, not a ladder. The more he relied on it, the less hungry he became for real wealth. Think of paychecks like crack cocaine for your brain. They give a short, predictable hit of relief but wreck your long-term hunger and ambition. This comfort drug dulls your risk sense, numbs creativity, and quiets the entrepreneurial alarm bells in your head. That steady buzz sucks you into a dull groove where dreams suffocate. The moment Felix tore up his paycheck mentality, he rewired his brain. Instead of chasing small, safe wins, he sought ownership, control over his time, ideas, and money. He went from being a wage slave to a wealth creator, trading stability for explosive growth potential. The surprise: freedom is the real wealth. Everyone worships great ideas like gold, but Felix throws cold water on that myth. Ideas alone won't make you rich. Here's the messy secret: worth more than your big idea. When Felix launched Maxim magazine, critics scoffed, just another men's mag, no future. But Felix didn't obsess over the shiny idea, he obsessed over making it work. He engineered every detail, outworked rivals, and shaped Maxim until it owned its niche. That gritty execution turned a bad idea on paper into millions in the bank. Imagine ideas as fire starters, easy to spark but useless without fuel. Execution is the steady shove of oxygen, wood, and heat that turns sparks into roaring bonfires. Most people chase crazy ideas but give up when the grind starts. Felix knew this. A mediocre idea done relentlessly beats a brilliant one left half-baked. Ownership is less about dreaming and more about relentless grip and sweat equity. Felix owned his companies like a dog with a bone, relentless, unyielding, unafraid of dirt and struggle. The payoff: he kept control of the profits, the decisions, and the destiny. If ownership is the only thing, what is? Felix's mantra: ownership isn't important, it's everything. It sounds harsh, but owning your stuff, your ideas, your company, your time, is how real riches materialize. Felix tells a painful story of selling a stake in his early publishing empire only to lose influence and direction. It taught him ownership wasn't just about money but control over vision, decisions, and destiny. Getting it back meant harsh choices but unlocked the power to shape his empire his way. Owning your business is like owning a tree that bears fruit year after year. Renting or working for someone else, that's like borrowing fruit: you get a taste but never the harvest. Felix's lesson: without ownership, you're always on someone else's terms, and that limits your wealth and impact. At the peak of his success, Felix found something surprising. Cash is fleeting, but ownership creates an echo. It builds a legacy that outlives you, can be passed on, and fuels endless opportunities. Ownership isn't just about money now, it's your ticket to freedom and influence for generations. Back to that dusty London office where Felix first faced his paycheck trap. He chose grit over comfort, ownership over renting, and relentless action over shiny ideas. You don't need luck or fancy degrees. Start by recognizing your paycheck leash, then seize ownership of one thing today. Try this: pick a small project you own fully, no asking for permission, no trading time for money. Watch how that mindset shift moves you closer to rich. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.